Hello, good afternoon. So we're here for a reading vlog. I have a lot of reading vlogs that I really want to do. I tell you what, I am so tired of being tired. I'm so tired of my sleep being disrupted. I'm suffering badly with the jet lag thing, and I've also not been very responsible at trying to get ahead of it, but I have to like force myself to stay awake now, and I'm thinking like 7:30 I'm gonna take a sleep aid and sleep for the night. Um Anyways, as I was saying, I'm here to do a reading vlog. I have a bunch of audiobooks checked out that I need to catch up on, the ones everyone's talking about. So I'm here chilling in my room. It's been like rainy all day, thundery, just such a great day. I've had too many things to do to really just sit back and read, but let me tell you the books that we're going to read for this vlog. So right now I just checked out Starside. I actually already started reading the ebook, but then I saw that it was available at my library for the audiobook, and I was like, okay. So I've already made it to chapter 9. This is what's the total length of this book? 17. This is like a 20-hour book. I listened to it sped up, usually 2 times the speed. It's actually set low right now at 1.80. But what's left in the book is 16 hours and 25 minutes. So I should be able to finish this book in about 9 hours. I mean, not collectively. I can't sit here for literally 9 hours and listen straight through. I've got Starside. It's starting out so good. I picked up Starside because some of my favorite YouTubers have been just raving about it, demanding everyone to read it. Just been really, really hyped. So I'm glad that I picked that one up straight from the first page, like action packed. So I really enjoy that. Really interesting system set up so far. Like we have these games. Lives with the blacksmith who's kind of raised her. Something bad has happened to her family, so he took her in. Apparently, she like covers up her body. I thought it was like burns, but I think it's something else. I don't even know how to explain this book. Basically, she decides for whatever reason, I know they talked about the reason in the book, but the reason is eluding me right now. But for whatever reason, she decided that she had to enter this competition, this game. There's all these trials. They start out with like anybody who can get like to the stone, they can move on to the next phase, and then there's like all these different trials just to get to the gates. Only 50 people can get through the gates, and the gates are like a portal into the Fey realm, or where they have magic. The king, the king has an offer that like, and if you can bring back like a chalice of this magic water or whatever, like it can save a community. There's a lot of poverty in this world, that sort of thing. So people try all the time to go get this magic. There's something off about the king, obviously, because there always is. There is a lot of high stakes. It's wild. It's honestly really wild. And it's so like, I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I have so many theories developing. And I love when a book does that. So that's that one. Then I also have checked out Amid Clouds and Bone by Ella Fields. I'm not really sure how this one's going to go. It was highly recommended by another YouTuber that I watch. But I don't always like everything that she reads. Oh no, it was also recommended by Kayla Books. That's right. That's why I did get this one as well. I think this is like a contemporary romance. I don't really know much about it. So that's gonna be a surprise. And then I also checked out The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, because if you watched my last video, I talked about how much. I loved the Shepherd King duology, which I read earlier this year. It's probably going to be a top favorite of all, just because it's so unique and so interesting. So I'm really excited to get into Night in the Moth. I also checked out Brimstone by Callie Hart. It's the second one in the Quicksilver series. And I read Quicksilver this year also. It's so good. I really, really enjoyed it. But I did try to listen to this one. I did try to listen to Brimstone after reading that, but I could not get into it. But I really think it's just because I had too much going on. So I'm giving it a second chance. But there's that. And all of these books are quite long. So Night in the Moth is 14 hours. Amid Cloud and Bones is 12 hours. Starside is 20 hours. And Brimstone is 25 hours. I forgot that it was so long. But yeah, I gotta get the materials. I got stuff. I gotta figure out which crochet projects that I'm gonna work on. But I will show you that on next update. I know that I can make it 3 to 4 more hours. I'm just like so exhausted right now. I could just pass out. I edited a little bit of the video, but yeah, I'm starting to feel it really bad. I've edited a little bit of the video, but I am just like too tired to be sitting here. I can get up and walk around and do something, but all I do is just go to sleep. I did make it to chapter 13, which is about 28% of the way through the book. I guess like nothing really big to report. Honestly, maybe I'm too tired to actually focus on it too much. I feel like it's kind of running in the background. Like, I'm actually gonna have to backtrack. This is awful. This is so awful. This is already like the worst vlog. This is already like the worst vlog that has ever existed. I'm trying to like recall what I was listening to, and I'm having the hardest time. Really, they're just continuing on the journey. We got a dragon. Main character got a dragon. I don't know if our character got her sword taken from her. So there's this like ultimate Starside metal that you could forge weapons out of, and they're like unbreakable. So they're really, really coveted. Our main character kind of had a dagger, which it got stolen. There is a supervillain. I wouldn't want to call him a supervillain, but there is a character named Caddick, and he is so awful and horrible. Like, he makes me so mad. But that's when you know it's a good villain. Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining. I'm like sitting here, I was gonna explain something, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to have spoilers. But then I'm like, vlogs are for spoilers. I'm gonna go make a protein shake, and I just don't know if I have it in me to push through without sleeping, or if I should just. I might take a nap, and then I'll set an alarm to wake up at 7 and then take medicine to sleep through the night. I might have to do that because I'm absolutely trashed right now. Trashed and miserable trying to force myself to stay up. Alright, I still have my headphones on because I was listening to Starside, and but I'm in bed now. It's not even quite 6 o'clock yet, but I'm giving up. I am too weak. I'm giving up. I've got dinner for the kids. They know what the plan is. Their bedtime is when, well, one of them's 17, so like it feels weird to give him a bedtime, but the other one is just a little bit younger. He's 15. He should still have a bedtime. But yeah, his phone goes off. Quisato tells it I have the routine set on his phone, so it just turns off like when it's time, and so he go to bed. Dreamless sleep is ahead of me. I'm so excited. Okay, so Starside is getting so good. Well, I mean, it's been really good. So she is traveling, teaming up, alliance. She's teamed up with Riker, the one guy who just has it out for her. And I guess that years prior, they'd had an encounter and he carved up her back or did something to her. We still don't have the backstory on what their history was, but
they're like true enemies to lovers. I don't know. It is a mystery though what Riker's problem is with her, because like she doesn't even know. She's like, "Why are you repulsed by me?" He says the most awful things to her. Like they go rounds. And obviously, so I spoiled it for myself. I thought, no, he's way too mean. I thought he was the antagonist. Well, he is the antagonist. But I accidentally spoiled it for myself because I ended up watching a YouTube video that mentioned Riker and then enemies to lovers. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I probably would have figured it out at this point, anyways, though. It's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of close that gap. He is warming up to her a little bit at this point, and she basically begged him to teach her how to be better. So he's got her working on like holding her sword at different stances to help her get better. So that's kind of interesting. It's just I am eager to see how the enemies to lovers is going to pan out because, well, I guess there was one point where he called her name and he does save her. Well, he needs to keep her around because she has this map, right? So it does stand to reason that that's his reason for constantly saving her from danger. But now he is actually helping her. But it'll be really interesting to see how it all pans out because I find it like, I always think like if someone talked to me that way, could I ever see them in a good light? And then they always, whenever you have these enemies to lovers things, like there's always this mystery of why they just hate them, right? There's always something that has happened trying to be deceptive, and that's the only reason, or it's for their protection, and that's the only reason why they have been a brute, like unnecessarily mean to them. But I think this is a really interesting dynamic too because he's awful to everybody. I mean, he's like straight up murderer. No qualms at just like throwing a sword and killing somebody. There is a few hiccups on the story that I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, she has a problem killing animals. And so she just like eating berries and mushrooms and stuff like that and foraging. And he's like killing animals. But I guess I don't love the idea that like you have to be a murderer to kill animals and you can't equally cherish a nice animal as well as kill an animal for food. I didn't like that. They also, and also to emphasize how horrible Riker is, he kills this huge deer and then isn't able to eat it all, and then lets it all go to waste. And that's just like, obviously that's going to exacerbate how, obviously that's like playing into that narrative that he's so evil. I feel like I could articulate myself a lot better, but probably now is not the time. So I'm gonna go to sleep and alright, I slept a lot last night. I did actually end up waking up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, but I ended up taking another sleeping pill to like force myself to sleep until the next day. Well, should be feeling rested again. I do feel rested, but I actually feel kind of groggy now too, and I don't know if that's just because just whatever. It's kind of annoying that I feel kind of groggy still, but I had to get up this morning. We had to do yard work. So we got all that stuff done, got our house cleaned. I'm going to go pick up my husband from the airport, and we are going to go out to celebrate my birthday. We're going to this Mexican restaurant. They have this like amazing bowl. And what makes it so good is there's like plantains in it. So freaking delicious. And then we're going to go to Second and Charles and do a little book browsing at least. I am thinking maybe I will get either Fairy or what's the Anathema or Ascended. One of those three, I do feel like I would. They're such massive books. I just don't really want to listen. I just really don't want to read them as an ebook. I think I would like the physical copy of those books. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I should kind of look at the reviews of them again and make sure, because they're not going to have any used copies. It's going to have to be a full price book. So we're looking at $20 or something like that. So I want to, or more. I always get duped when it comes to that. So maybe we'll hold off on that. We'll see. Okay, so Starside. But I'm so confused. I don't understand Riker, okay? Like, so they run into an immortal who is really, really kind and generous to him. They hook them up with a horse that gets them further on and saves them some time. And you can tell like something is starting to kind of develop a little bit, because Riker is like looking at her when she's just looking at how beautiful the world is, and he's like noticing her. And then also the immortal like calls her beautiful, and he has a reaction to that, like almost like she interprets it like, oh my gosh, this guy's stupid, like they're lying, because he has always acted like he's repulsed around her. But I think like us as readers, like we know this is jealousy, and there is a reason that Riker is like holding back. I would say he's more than holding back, but he's like forcing himself to treat her like crap and hate her. So after this whole thing, they get where they're going, and he ditches her. He just straight up is just like berates her about how useless she is and how much trouble she's gotten him into, and that he doesn't need her map or anything. And so they go their separate ways. And he's not wrong that I feel like she probably would have been dead if it wasn't for him. Like, he's gotten her out of so much trouble. But we are given an Easter egg, or we're given some foreshadowing as to something's not right about her, because she is like a danger magnet, 100%. And I, at first, we're going through and I'm thinking about how this is just so kind of over the top dramatic. Like, let's always put her in mortal danger so that he can keep saving her, and then that's going to turn, them into a love story. But I think there's more to it. It's not just like, oh, at every freaking turn there is danger just for her, because they're saying that like this doesn't happen to Riker, this only happens to her. And then, oh, that's how they made sorry, I'm getting all messed up. So the immortal is like, yeah, those creatures, because he saves her, those creatures are attracted to magic. And he points to her sword, like, they're following your sword around. But then I'm like, but Riker has a sword. So they're definitely foreshadowing to something else. Like, I think, and it has something to do with her markings, I think that she is originally from the fairylands. I think she has magic in her veins. Whatever had happened to her that caused her to have those markings, I think she has magic. And that's why she is suddenly this like demon magnet. And I also wonder, because Riker knows a lot of stuff, I wonder if he doesn't suspect something. I wonder if he doesn't know something. But I also think he's really forcefully pushing her away because something that's up with him. I mean, because like all the broody males are always trying to do that, because it's not you, it's them. And he's on a vengeance mission as well. Vengeance for I don't know what. I think that he doesn't want to hurt Eris. I think because that moment was really cool, because like there's these little tiny windows of moments that are, so she dislocates her shoulder at one moment, and he's like telling her like, you come here to face all this danger and you're afraid of getting your shoulder fixed. And she's like, well, you're gonna hurt me. Like, why would he hurt her? He's been saving her. That's a little bit annoying, but whatever. But I think it goes more than that. Like, she's just being stubborn, and she's like trying to not take his help, even though because she's always asking for his help. She finally agrees and lets him help her. But right before that, he goes, I'm not gonna hurt you, Eris. Like, the way in which they describe in the book that he talks to her, like, there's something very endearing there. I think that he loves her. I think that, or maybe he doesn't love her, but finds that he wants to protect her. And I think that bothers him because it gets in the way of like his mission. Okay, I'm living for this book. It's so good. I can't believe I'm only 55% of the way through because we've already gone through so much with them. What is it? They have 40 days to get to the end, or maybe is it 50 days beyond the gates to achieve their goal, and they're at like 20 something days. So good morning, guys. So I've been up since like 4 o'clock this morning. Let's see. All right, where was I? Okay, last I updated was the day before yesterday. Yeah, and I basically stayed up pretty late listening to Starside, and then I woke up about 4 o'clock, 4:30 this morning, and finished reading Starside. You guys. Okay, so I might understand the whole enemies to lovers thing. Finally. Like a true enemies to lovers. I think. Anyways, fucking Riker. First of all, he was like, I don't kiss. That's more intimate than sex. But then when they actually do it, he kisses her. I loved it. I was like, oh my god, yes. But then the next day, the next morning, oh my god, I could not breaking my heart. I literally felt my heart cracking. So I don't know what's gonna happen in book 2. I can't believe, I think I have to look and see when book 2 is coming out because I can't believe it left off like that. Like, I was rooting for them. I don't know. I will talk about this a little bit more, but as much as I loved this story and just was so wrapped up in it, it's not without its problems. Like, there's actually quite a few issues that make it less than a perfect book, but I had the best time reading it. All right, I gotta finish my breakfast and I'll update later. All right, so the next book I'm gonna listen to is Amid the Clouds and Bones. This is a favorite of Kayla Books. I believe she's the one that recommended it, and I think I really wanted to pick it up because it's a standalone, and sometimes I feel like I'm overwhelmed by all the unfinished series that I have. So this one is an arranged marriage with a cruel fey prince, and it kind of makes me think that the dynamic might be a little too close to the Starside dynamic, but I think it's going to completely be different. So let's just go into it. Oh yeah, so yesterday my husband took me to the bookstore to we did like a late birthday celebration because he wasn't here. So we went to lunch, we went to the bookstore, went a little book shopping, and I was looking for Alchemized, which I could not think of the freaking title when I was in the store, but I couldn't see it anyways. I was looking for Alchemized, Descended, or now I can't think of the other title I was looking for, Anathema. I was looking for either one of those, but I couldn't find any of them. But what I did find, I was really excited because the last time I went there, I was looking for this and I couldn't find it. So I found The Bone Shard Daughter, and this was on sale for $6.95. So couldn't have been a much better deal because I found the second book a while ago, which I knew I wanted to read. So when I saw it, I had to get it. And that is The Bone Shard Empress, second book in the series. And I found this one, I think, want to say for $3.99 or $4.99. Either way, it was an incredible deal, so I ended up picking that one up. But now I have both books, so I can't put that on the shelf right now. So I'm wanting to start them like immediately. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way through my audiobooks, and I did want to do a reading vlog of just this. Like, let's just tackle this big bad boy in a vlog. I think that's gonna be the next video after this. But anyways, I'll catch up with you later.
Okay, my son is downstairs in the kitchen making food, so if you hear some background noise, that's what's going on. Amid the Clouds and Bones. I'm gonna tick this one off. I'm not gonna finish it. It got really weird. I don't know. And I kind of suspected that was gonna be it from kind of just the style going into it. We're at 20%. These two individuals loathe each other, hate each other. This guy is so mean and cruel and just says nothing, poisons her. Now, it did say that she wants to, like, play the games back, but, like, they're not clever games at all. They turned into sexual games. Let's just put it that way. He orders her to certain things, and she does it, and she says she's playing a game. I'm like, no, no, no. He's not playing your game. You're playing his game. So, like, what are you doing? playing right into his game by doing it, and she thinks, I guess, it just got it just got very graphic very, very quickly. There was no buildup, no angst, none of that kind of stuff. I was just like, in the blink of an eye, here we are. Anyways, I don't have patience for this. I'm not doing it. It's not good to me. I don't like that kind of style. So we're gonna move on. Okay, so I'm actually gonna move on to a book. I have 2 more books that are actually due in 11 days. One of them is Dark Triumph, which is the second in the Grave Mercy, His Fair Assassins. I didn't really like Grave Mercy, so I don't have high hopes for this, so it might be, like, one that I'm gonna tick off the list, but then I'll move on to Jennifer L. Armentrout's Wait For You collection. This is like a contemporary romance, but this is all 3 audiobooks in one. So that was kind of a cool find because you only get on Hoopla, you only get limited checkouts. I get 10 checkouts. So it's like having 3 checkouts in one. So it's kind of a cool compilation. Anyways, I am a stan for JLA's books all the time. I love the way she writes romance, and I love the way she writes her characters. Even if sometimes the plots don't always get me, I do really get into the characters. Anyways, we're gonna start with Dark Triumph. Hey guys, good evening. Not the best setup here, but I am so exhausted. I'm going to bed early tonight. I went back to the gym with my friend. We did 2 hours on a treadmill. I did most of my walking, like, on a 3 to 4% grade. I was kinda switching back and forth, not really being very methodical about when I was making changes, how much time, no tracking. I was just like, "I feel like it, I don't feel like it right now." So, yeah, I just kinda fluctuated with it a little bit, but it was really fun to catch up with her because we haven't seen each other, like, all summer so far. We're both doing all kinds of stuff, so we had a lot of catching up to do. I wanna do a quick update. I've been sitting here scrolling on my phone so bad. I Every second of it, I was just like, "No, I need to stop. No, I need to stop." Then I get distracted. So that's right. And then after the gym, I did a lot of cleaning around the house and stuff. So I wanted to come and do something that's fun for me. And I was gonna play some video games today, but that never came out because as soon as like I had that free time, I was like, I'm just too tired. I'm just too tired to do that. So then I was gonna sit down and read. And I still want to read, but I just want to go to bed and read. You know what I mean? The Knight and the Moth. So I am almost done. I'm not done with it yet. I feel like I've been reading a lot, but it seems like it's taking a long time to read this book. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't feel like it's long. Like, I'm loving this book so much. It's so much fun. And we're doing like spoilers, right? So I'm going to spoil something. Okay, so I'm 82% of the way through at this point. So I'm anticipating being able to finish it by tomorrow morning before I go to gym. So, or I'm watching a show with my husband, then we go to sleep, and then I'm waking up really early in the morning, completely by accident. Trust me, I would rather sleep in, but my body is like, nah, it's 3:30 in the morning. What are you talking about? You should wake up now. 4 o'clock, 4:30. This morning I slept in good. I woke up at 5:30 this morning. Anyways, so yeah, I've been like reading I've been getting a lot of like really good reading time early in the morning. So I really don't mind waking up super early. But that being said, I'm still just surprised I haven't finished it yet. But I am, like I said, I am really enjoying the story. Have a lot of developments in the romance section. I absolutely adore this romance. I love these two. They're so cute. It's like a soft enemies to lovers. Like they kind of get under each other's skin a little bit, but they're not like real enemies. They just kind of bicker back and forth because they just see things differently. Although the guy is kind of excessively kind of rude to her, but then they go back and they start like explaining themselves and it comes all together so well. I really enjoyed it. There's also a lot of like really good lines that I've been annotating in this. I did switch over to audiobook a bit today, but then like there was something that was like so good and I was like, I want to go back on my Kobo and highlight this. So then I ended up getting too busy today to really focus on an audiobook. So I just decided that I'm going to just finish it on my Kobos and get all my annotations that I want to get in. Things are turning out great. We have this like whole found family vibe going on, this camaraderie. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. but we have another book coming out, and we've almost taken care of all the omens. So I think that book two is going to turn this whole thing on its head. My suspicion is that, okay, so if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you're probably already familiar with the story. So I'm not going to go into a lot of explaining where we're at right now because like you shouldn't be watching this video if you haven't already read it because I'm spoiling it. But I just really wanted to talk about these things. So we have the king who is using his knights and the diviner to collect all of the tools that the omens use and kill the omens. He has this whole belief system, and it makes a lot of sense. But he's been kind of saying a couple little things. They're subtle, but then he said something to the effect of he can't wait till he takes all of that power away, but he realizes that that's an extraordinary amount of power and it needs to be distributed somewhere. It has to go somewhere. And they kind of left it off there. The other thing he keeps saying is like, the knights are doing all of the work. Rory is the one that killed the brigand and got the coin. He also was raised by that guy. He's the one that uses the coin all the time. So he's like, it's mine. The king says everything is his knights, his coin, his ore, even though he doesn't touch it or wield it. His diviner. At first, it was endearing because she had been his diviner to give his fortune or whatever. But he keeps saying that she is his diviner. And I think what's going to happen is that he is going to assume all that power. He's going to keep it for himself. He wants to be the most powerful. That's his vengeance because he is living through the sins of his family, his father. Not necessarily his father, his grandfather. His grandfather was looked down on. He's judged. He did have a little bit of information that he was withholding from the diviner. We find that out. Finally, the crux of all this that makes me sure that I know what's happening is because Rory and the diviner finally admit their feelings for each other, but she decides that she would like to be knighted. And Rory says something like, it's okay, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. This is all just, we're really friends and we're working together and like that camaraderie. The king gets snappy. He's like, what are you talking about? She's mine to wield. She has to do what I say, essentially. And I'm like, see, all of this came about because she was like, I've been giving everything to everybody. It wasn't my choice, da 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 da. This is her choice. So it seemed like she felt liberated. What she didn't understand is that she came from one prison and she's literally allowing herself into another prison to be used by the king to tell her what to do. And I am a little bit pissed off that Rory or Maud is that Rory didn't say anything, didn't stop it, didn't like be like, hey, you don't have to decide now, and pulled her aside and was like, here's what being a knight means, etc. Because had he done that, maybe she would have been knight. Like, what is the point? Still able to fight with them and do whatever, but she doesn't have the title of knighthood. So I was like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And of course, she does it. So I really think that the whole setup and the whole plot is going to get flipped on its head. And next book, we're going to be dealing with the king as the villain. I think that's what's going to happen. Okay, well, anyways, I am calling it. I'm going to go to bed. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think I kind of mentioned that I was going to read that book during this vlog. Again, I'm 50% of the way through and I like feel like it's a chore to pick it up. And I just don't, I keep trying to look for ways around actually reading the text. Like I've been looking for the audiobook. I even downloaded webcomics because you can check out, they have the first season of, those are actually really good. But the reason I picked it up is because I just didn't want to read the book. Like, I want what's in it, I just don't wanna have to go through the painstaking task of reading the word for word. I'm thinking that's a very strong sign that I just DNF this book. And I can't get access to the audiobook at this time. I'll just wait. I'll just wait until I get the audiobook and I'll try it again. One of these days, it's going to make its way to the library or to Hoopla to check out. I just have to be patient. That being said, I think after I finish The Knight and the Moth, I'm gonna go ahead and switch and do my next reading vlog. And we're just gonna read one book together. But now I'm having second guesses of what I want to read. Well, that was fun. I did like 3 different video clips and didn't have my mic turned on. I also was showing off a gift that my mom bought me and sent me. It's like a blind date with a book, and it was stuffed full of like all kinds of little goodies and stuff like that. This was the book that came, Spartan Sorrow. This one actually looks really, really good. I don't know that I very much go for like Greek myth retellings, but this one actually sounds really good because the main character is also a mom. So I think that's going to work really well. Anyways, it's time to update my reading. I finished The Knight and the Moth, and it was absolutely incredible. Definitely 5-star read for me. I adored everything about this book. It's so interesting, and I'm going to share with you a bunch of quotes that I have saved from the book, but I feel like I need to do some like eloquent wrap up or whatever. I don't think that I have it in me today. I just literally got back from the gym and I just feel like I'm kind of scatterbrained right now, to be honest. And I have like a lot of little things that I would like to get done today. So we're just winging it. But yeah, The Night and the Moth was so good. I do feel it was definitely predictable. So if predictability is a no-go for you, I apologize. You might not like this, but the journey is still really worth the read through. The love story is slow burn, yearning. It's so good. I love the love story. This world is very much like based in faith, and I thought that there were so many interesting things that they would say regarding faith, as far as like if you are the believer or if you are the God. I don't even know how to explain it exactly, because you have these these gods that everyone believes are gods, but then as they take a closer look and they challenge them, they aren't actually God. I just think that like you can insinuate that that's a bit of a message for a lot of religions, I think. I don't know. I think it's really interesting to consider that this is a message about things that we can relate to in real life. Furthermore, a lot of talk about like how to find yourself. That's really good. And I'm gonna share the quotes. Also, Bartholomew is one of the best side characters. He is a gargoyle, and he has a very interesting story that unravels by the end. And again, I think it was a little bit predictable, but it I think it still surprised me in a way, his story, but I thought it was like so good and sad, and yeah, it was really good. And I have one quote from Bartholomew, because Bartholomew is different than all the other gargoyles. So we need to find out why. He also has, I love the way he talks, because most of the time he talks with certain, like, what do you call them? Certain phrases. Dead as a doorknob. Well, at one point he was like, he said something like, dead as a doornail, and Six corrected him and said, no, it's dead as a doorknob gargoyle. Because so he'll have a lot of these lines where he like gets the lines twisted, and it's just really cute. I love it. So I have a quote for about him. The ending, the cliffhanger, left my jaw on the ground. I am just I'm broken, a little bit broken. I can't believe I'm not used to having to wait for the next book to be released, but I think it's coming out in September, and I just cannot wait to continue on with the story. Also, with the big, huge, twisted plot point, I did have my theory was correct on how that was going to go, but I didn't know exactly how it was going to play out. I actually didn't think it was going to happen until the second book, but the way that it ended, I was just like, what? I still really enjoyed the journey, even though it felt predictable, but the twist, I'm so mad, because not only did everything get twisted on its head, but like people who had faith in Benji are totally and utterly betrayed. Like we we're going through this whole book looking at these gods like they're bad, and come to find out, maybe Benji's actually the bad guy. Um, anyways, so I absolutely love this book. I do also still have a lot of questions come book 2. That's a thing. Like, one thing is Six's eyes. Like, is she gonna become a gargoyle too? I really hope not. Okay, so let me go ahead and read off the. We'll start with the gargoyles quote. I confess, horses are not the intelligent beasts I imagine them to be, but I don't think it merits the abuse they suffer postpartum. That one took me a moment. No one actually beats dead horses, Gargoyle. It's an expression. Faith requires a display. The greater the spectacle, the greater the illusion. It's hard to see who I am when I am lost in what's expected of me. When you do the right thing for the wrong reason, no one praises you. When you do the wrong thing for the right reason, everyone does. Even though what is right and wrong depends entirely on the story you're living in, and no one says they need recognition or praise or love, but we all hunger for it. We all want to be special. People who love you for your usefulness don't love you at all. And to follow up on that one, you don't have to be good or useful for someone to care about you. All right, those are the ones that I have for you for now, but I'm telling you, this is so good. I love this book so, so much. I'm going to be recommending it to everybody I know. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, but I do hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.